Thank you for staying with us on the program. Well, we have all the parties now represented in the Edo Assembly crisis. Don't forget, the Assembly is on, should we call it a recess now, or the suspension of plenary? Well, a party is supposed to resume plenary on the 30th, and another one is supposed to resume on the 3rd. Well, we have, so to say, two groups in the House of Assembly in Edo State. That particular crisis rocking the House of Assembly in that particular state has caused the state assembly to stop the process of lawmaking. Now, we've seen situations in the past days where the road that leads to the House of Assembly chambers were blocked. Some other citizens using that particular road are disallowed from moving into that area. The police have intervened in this particular matter also. But again, one will be asking the question, to what interest is this particular crisis? I have joining me Honourable Friday Ogieriakhi. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I hope I didn't murder the name.
You did your best.
All right. I've been talking with Honourable Paul Obamu. Honourable Paul Obamu is of the APC and a member of the Edo State House of Assembly, and Honourable Friday Ogieriakhi is of the PDP. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. Just before you joined us, you came late, actually, but the fact remains that Honourable Obamu told us that yourself and some other members were suspended for misconduct. Are you aware of the misconduct, the reasons why you were suspended?
In fact, thank you very much for that question. As I speak with you, let me tell you that nobody at any time, not even him that is seated here, confronted any one of us allegedly suspended with this allegation of misconduct. And for me, the democracy, it is the most unexpected. And that is to tell you the monstrosity of the kind of tyranny, the tyranny we are dealing with, as far as Edo State is concerned today, under the governorship of Oshiomhole. And it's so unfortunate that lawmakers elected, who are, because of loyalty to party, will lend themselves to this kind of shame. Because for you to punish a man, the man needed to be given fair hearing. No form of trial, no form of hearing whatsoever was given to my colleagues and I, who were allegedly suspended. And for all we know, that these honorable members, so to speak, in quote, were just acting out the script of their paymaster, who is in Osadebe Avenue. Because prior to when they carried out this so-called suspension, we had only gone on a short break. And ordinarily, what happens traditionally is that when you are coming from a break to resume into a new session, you hold what is called an executive session to discuss matters that may be coming up for the discussion within the session, to also adopt what is commonly referred to as the timetable for the session. None of this was done. They went under the cover of darkness without any as much as a notice to the PDP members as to what they were going to do. The sitting on that day, this is their vote and proceeding, the VP for that day, they sat at 10 after 10 a.m. And in less than 15 minutes, they were done with the job of the day, which was to suspend the four of us who are members of the
my question, sorry to cut in, my question is, are you aware of the allegation of misconduct?
That is the point I'm making.
You are not aware?
I'm not aware of the misconduct. I was never confronted. Nobody told me anything. The only thing I had was I have been suspended.
All right. Let me ask again. If this kind of process is to take place on the floor of the House, how would a lawmaker or a member of the House be informed of an allegation?
Thank you very much. Going by the order, the House rules, they relied on Order 38 of the House rules to carry out this nefarious act. By that, the provision of that order, the suspended members ought to be present, ought to be carrying out the same alleged misconduct in the face of the parliament, before Mr. Speaker. It now behoves on Mr. Speaker to name the person who is erring, to say, you have done this, you have done that, you have considered yourself in a way that this session can no longer continue with you. You are therefore suspended because of that. None of us, 4 of us, were present on that day.
All right.
That they carried out this act.
Just a moment, so that those who are watching understand what we are talking about. There are 24 members in the Edo State House of Assembly, and the 4 members that are suspended now are PDP lawmakers, isn't it? There are 5 other lawmakers out of the rest of the 20, I guess.
Yes.
Making a total number of 9 PDP lawmakers in the Edo House of Assembly, isn't it?
The Deputy Speaker, let me make this clarification, is yet to make his intention know whether he's PDP or he wants to remain with APC. As I speak with you, technically, he's still a member of the APC.
So that means you have three PDP members and one
APC member.
That has not decided.
As I speak with you, the Deputy Speaker, before he was now elevated after what they did to the position of the speaker, is
elevated by who?
By us.
By
the legitimate 9 PDP legislators.
Is that lawful?
It is lawful. It is lawful. Because
all right, just a moment, so that we take it one after the other.
Yes.
Honourable Hobamu, you heard your colleague saying that they're not even aware of the allegations leveled against them. They were unlawfully and illegally. That's what he has claimed, that illegally suspended from the House.
Well, thank you very much. He has said they were unlawfully and illegally, and that's why the matter is in court, because I will not now try to, say what in fact the court will eventually get to. But by and large, when someone commits an offense in the face before the speaker can ask that person to leave the sitting for that day, for the remainder of that day. But when you commit an offense that is ongoing, continuous, because those involved know that they entered an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And we cannot fold our hands. Imagine the way and manner they defecate the law. Look at what he said, coming from the rear, the last statement, that they elevated a suspended deputy speaker to become speaker, and that number is lawful to do that. He has forgotten that there is a law guiding that. By virtue of Section 99 of the 1999 Constitution, maybe you look at it, anyone who sits or votes in a House of Assembly without rights, that when he's not entitled to do so, is guilty of an offense. And when he's found guilty, he will be liable to punishment that will be prescribed by the law of the House of Assembly. All those who sat that day, apart from this one, including my colleague who has been suspended, they also have their punishment in fixed deposit. You cannot defecate, you cannot just, behave as if you are a lord unto yourself. You don't have right to sit. They even sat without a mace. They sat without the clerk of the house. They sat without clerks at table. They sat without even any staff.
I want us to, the event, just a moment. The event, I want us to take it one after the other. We're still looking at the issue surrounding the suspension of the 4 lawmakers. Yes. And I was asking him, he said they're not aware. You did not inform them. They were not at that particular sitting, isn't it?
He merged.
Does the rule of the House say that they should be absent or present?
The rule is not static. You don't have to be present. Assuming any of them, those suspended now, or any member, I'm coming. Don't interject, please.
Just a moment. Allow him, please.
No, please.
Allow him.
You should be matured here. Don't interject.
Go ahead, please.
Now, assuming a member of the House is arrested, with the allegation that he has committed rape, or any felony, armed robbery, or murder, are you telling me we have to call that member first to sit before we dissociate ourselves, before we suspend the member to go and clear himself, clear his name? What we are saying, he made the issue of informing them with giving them fair hearing. By the rules, the only way you can give suspended people fair hearing is when you suspend them, you set up a committee. Even when you want to remove anybody, the speaker deputy, by virtue of rules order 72, you set up a committee that will present the report within 7 days. So it is in that committee that you set up ad hoc committee that will call them, that will give them fair hearing. The issue of fair hearing has to be when they face the committee.
Is it therefore fair on their own part if they are being punished and they don't know why they are being punished?
They know. We told them why they are being punished.
What are the reasons why they are being punished?
I said misconduct, subterranean activities. And why I cannot go into, when a matter is in court, it becomes sub judice when you start talking.
All right, just a moment, Honourable Obama. There is a section that I'm trying to lay my hands on now in the Nigerian, the 1999 Constitution as amended, which states that a member of the House could only be punished based on the offense committed on the floor of the House. Mm-hmm. In that case, do you agree?
Excuse me. When you say a member...
Just a moment.
Yes.
The offense committed by the 4 lawmakers, was it offense committed on the floor of the House?
It continues from floor to all other activities. They know themselves. The truth of that Constitution, I'm coming, we have a rule. And by virtue of Section 101 of the Constitution, we made that rule because that section says that subject to the provisions of this Constitution, a House of Assembly shall have power to regulate its own procedure, including the procedure for summoning and recess of the House. Based on that law, we have our rules. For anything, whether punishment, all the things we must do in the House, you follow these rules. So the enabling law is the Constitution. So the issue of...
But the Constitution is saying they can only be punished based on the offenses committed on the floor of the House.
The offenses, when we are talking of offenses committed on the floor of the House, for example, even that day that this thing was, that the suspension order was carried out, in their usual way, I said subterranean activities. At times, the Speaker will be seated before you see them walking in as if the Speaker is not the presiding officer. I particularly mentioned that in the case of Deputy Speaker. That is why it is continuous, ongoing. Where the Speaker is sitting, you just throw in and render the power of Mr. Speaker ineffectual and barren. We cannot, that is the face, S for she. That is before even the Speaker in the floor of the House. I think it's the amalgam of all these activities, both in the floor and out, that brought this to...
So that we understand. Sorry
Yes.
to cut you in again. The fact remains that after that particular day, when they were suspended,
Yes.
did the House make any effort at informing them officially
Yes.
about their suspension?
Yes.
In what manner?
They came. They came. Even
When they served any document?
None.
Wait now.
You are not the one. Go ahead. Were they served any
inform
document?
me. It's just like in the court. There are times you come with oral evidence. Oral motion. Motion, you move it orally. There are times you come with written application. They knew that day because they also came. They came late as usual, as I have told you. Even the suspended deputy entered and met the Speaker. Why did you suspend me? I've been cooperating with you. I've been helping you. Why did you suspend me?
He said that on the floor of the House?
Yes, he told the Speaker that day. Why did you suspend me? And in fact, it's not here, but there is no way, what will I gain by, I am not like PDP product. So you see, he said it that day to Mr. Speaker. What we needed to do, that is the truth of the matter, was to set up an ad hoc committee that will now invite them in line with the principle of fair hearing,
and investigate.
And investigate.
Just a moment. Okay.